Alright, first off, I'd like to thank everybody for 200 subscribers. It's awesome the support I've been getting lately, and I'd like to thank everybody. We're growing at a faster rate now than ever before, so that's awesome. I hope all subscribers, new and old, are enjoying the new content I upload weekly. I hope the wind isn't too bad right now. I'm trying to avoid the wind. If you are new and haven't subscribed yet, be sure to do that because I post awesome content like this week's slice of content is why you should learn parkour. Move the camera a little bit. I'm going to try and keep it interesting throughout this whole video, but let's just start off with the definition of parkour. The definition of parkour is the most efficient way of getting from point A to point B to 1 to 3 to he to she. It's all about efficiency with parkour, and when most people think of parkour, they think of crazy insane rooftop jumps or insane flips. While it is still parkour, it's a lot more than that. Okay, so on that note, let's establish the difference between parkour and freerunning. There are two different types of movement, and they're trained quite differently sometimes, but sometimes not so different. Freerunning is doing lines of moves like parkour, except it's not about efficiency. It's about doing moves that look good, like flipping off something around your surroundings and making it look natural. The difference doesn't really matter, but sometimes people will be like, oh, why didn't this guy just go climb up there and do this? Well, it's not because they're trying to be efficient, it's because they're trying to dress to impress. I guess that's kind of a good way of describing it. But that doesn't mean freerunning isn't always the most efficient way of doing it. Just like here, Mr. Dom Tomato, wind is going crazy, Mr. Dom Tomato here does a huge front flip gap over this, and I think that would be considered parkour because it's the most efficient way of getting down from there to there. Okay, I've set up a little bit of a course here to prove my points here about parkour training. I think I'm moving my hands a lot when I'm talking right now, and I don't know why. But parkour can be something as simple as jumping over a fence or blockade that you have in the backyard. If you've seen my parkour training videos, you'll see me perfecting little things so that way they'll be even better when it comes to time to use them in actual lines. Lines are basically a string of movements that you'll connect to make it look as good and as fast as possible. But that's the beauty of parkour. It's how actually simple it is to train when I'm in no interesting areas such as like this. I'll just work on specific things such as power, precision, control, speed, balance, speed, again, timing. Just like this, how I've set up now, and you'll see me as I do some things. It's not always about doing crazy big stuff, it's about working on the little things so that way when it comes time to doing the crazy stuff, that you already know what you're doing so you can do it. I went to go look for the little tabletop thing and I forgot I was using it as a vault and my camera was on top of it. Forgot to mention here that for the vault and stuff right there, where you could have actually just walked around, which is perfectly fine with that, where I chose to vault or jump over. This is kind of like a perfect scenario because if you don't jump over, then you gotta avoid the chocolate landmines that are on both sides, and they're quite deadly. The wind's crazy and the sun is really harsh right now. It's just a good day, although it's really warm, so I'm not complaining. But another thing I love about parkour is that you progress. Everything that I do, I progress too. You start on little things and you keep doing more and more and more until you accomplish what you originally thought was insane, and then that just becomes like an easy, normal, everyday move to you. And then of course you move on to the next insane move. And now you're thinking that this is a normal move, while everybody else watching you is thinking, holy crap, this guy is insane. But that's just what I do. For progression, if you're scared of doing some things, and there's a couple options with doing new scary things. You can either say, screw it, I'm gonna just do it. Or you can target certain areas of that thing and then you'll get more confident and confident with everything that surrounds that jump, and then you can just go for it and then it'll be easy for you. Another thing that I get a lot is when people watch pro parkour athletes or just certain aspects that I'll do, they'll think, holy crazy daredevil risking their life for this thing, like how could you be so stupid? But to those people it's not risky or crazy at all because they've been training that for so long, and that they're that they're 100% confident in their abilities and they know that they can do it. So to them it's just they can do it, but to everybody else it's like it's impossible to understand how that could even be done. And it's just a crazy risky daredevil stunt, but it isn't really. That's kind of the whole reason why I came here to sit, just so I could do that. This is actually a PSA. Global warming, polar bear, ice. Don't worry, polar bear. I'll get you. To add on to that progression point, like I said, I always progress to everything. Just like my one video where I explained how I learned how to backflip, it was a 1-year progression, a lot of different stuff I needed to do before I was ready for it. And it's like anything else, really. You'll start at the 3rd step, then the 4th step, 5th step, then you're at the top step, and you're ready to jump off. Walking on these wooden planks is really good for balance, because you'll do that, keep doing that, and then you'll become confident with your balance abilities, and then you'll be able to walk on rails like it's nothing. I've gotten pretty good with that. Okay, it may actually be a little bit cold outside and a lot warmer in here. But now we're going to talk about confidence and how when I first started training parkour, and now, it's been a huge confidence and self-esteem boost. Learning parkour at first, I didn't really know what I was doing. It was kind of awkward just because I didn't know what I was doing and I had nobody to teach me, which is also good, but it's just awkward. As awkward as it was, I definitely knew that I loved it. But as I got better and better, training more and more, I found that I had a lot more confidence and I felt like I could do a lot more. Okay, it might be a little bit too hot here. Yeah. Okay, and we've moved to a spot where it's not overwhelmingly hot. But anyways, as I got better with parkour, I was finding it more practical. Knowing that I could get out of any situation in a pinch was quite a good feeling for me. And I remember, well, I guess I don't remember, it still happens now, but I'll always hear people talking or saying how they're figuring out how to get up somewhere or get across somewhere. And I'm just thinking in my head how I could be over there in seconds. It's quite a good feeling. Being able to do things that others can't do with ease is a great feeling. So for me, training parkour has always been about speaking is issues. So for me, training parkour has always been about the sport and being practical, which I'll get into in another moment, but it also came with another bonus. Showing off like no other would be that bonus. Normally I'll keep to myself and just accomplish things for my own goals, and it's not really for the glory or anything like that. For the glory, Jesus. But when I am in my element and feeling it, I'll definitely jump up on a rooftop in seconds or do a really casual flip just to make people say, hey, did you just flip? Yeah, that's definitely a perk too. Reactions. I was going to sit like this for the last little section of the video, but I'm afraid that this just doesn't work because it seems like one of those things where it's like a criminal talking and using that like the voice modifier like this.
Drugs? Yeah, I sell drugs.
We're gonna have to move, probably turn this way. Actually, that works out just fine. But I'm gonna need to switch because I have to sit on the wooden thing just because that's the whole video. Parkour is probably the most useful sport of them all. Other sports you can use to work out and all that, but you'll probably never need them outside of that area. Not needing any equipment, training it whenever, by yourself or with friends. Basically, the only limitation is what you've trained your body to be able to do, which is why I love parkour. And also the classic scenario everybody thinks of, being chased by cops or bad guys.
I just gotta think about the cops chasing me, and I have to jump in.
They won't be catching me. So to sum up the whole video here, back where we started, easy to progress, it's easy to train, builds confidence, you can show it off, and it's practical. So there's a lot of good things about parkour, but for all these points, I hope you try parkour or maybe refer it to a friend, refer me to a friend. Thanks again everybody for 200 subscribers. I hope everybody enjoyed this video, and I hope you try a jump. So be sure to like, dislike, comment, criticize, share with your friends, or don't. And I should see you in the next video.